Hello, everyone. Welcome to a snow day edition of Geekonomics. We'd planned, we had all the plans in place. The producer was ready to go. He was lined up. He was excited to do the show in the studio.
Yeah.
Then we woke up this morning to snow falling on cedars. It was a movie. Check it out. So we decided to uh scrap doing the show in the studio today. Instead, we're on the Zoom, our first Zoom of the year. We've made it one whole week, Brian, of being in the studio.
Well, the curse might get broken. I feel like every time we do one studio show, we're back on Zoom for like four
Yeah.
to three sessions. I don't
Or
know.
or people have like weeks where they don't have meetings, so we can't do a show at all, like next week. So
Next week we'll be taking off. I don't have any meetings. So
best laid
hope
plans. We will be in the studio one of these days to do a show, and we will
the
be
la-
consistent with it.
yes. Let's plan. We'll be back at the end of the month. Um, as of right now, I can tell you, Mark, it will be a Tuesday, January 30th. Let's hope we're in the studio.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
put
That's
plans
the
in
plan.
best laid plans, as they say.
But one plan that it will be happening February 25th,
Yes.
East of the River comic book and collectible show, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Only $1 to get in, $3 for early bird, which starts at 9 a.m. at the American Legion Hall, 566 Enfield Street, Enfield, Connecticut. 2 floors
Mm.
filled with vendors, local artists, and I will be there. I believe Matt Ryan will be there.
That Ryan
Although
is supposedly supposed to be there. Yes.
maybe the Safari brothers will be there. It
Yes.
should be a
I
great
might make an
time.
appearance. We'll see how schedules fall
Yeah. So
and
February
weather.
25th, come on down. But Mark, what's coming up at the end of this month?
Yes, before we get to east of the river, we have the CliffsCon down in Plainville at the Plainville VFW, 7 Northwest Drive in Plainville, from the usual times. 9 to 10 is early bird. I think it's a couple bucks more. And then from 10 to 3 is the regular show. So yeah, check that out as well. You can find all information on our Facebook. We will have the flyer at the end of the show, as always, for all these fun shows that our friends put on, and so much
Very exciting, Mark.
more.
So today, I got the Emmy winners. We're going to talk about what we've been up to, and then
Yeah,
we're going to end the show with things we're looking forward to in 2024.
yeah. I'm gonna give my non-spoilerish review of Echo.
Oh, you could spoil it.
Okay,
Spoil away.
okay.
Nobody cares.
Some people might.
I don't think
Just
so.
because you don't doesn't mean other people don't.
I think everybody who's going to watch that show has watched it. Um, you can spoil it. I already know I pretty much know everything that happens, so you're not going to spoil it for
Okay.
me.
All right.
Um, you're going to be the sole reviewer of this show.
I mean, I don't think it might not be something you might want to watch one of these days. You might
Eh.
get some stuff out of it. You might like it. Just saying.
Um, I am good. I'm still on my Marvel diet until
I don't watch stuff anymore because I'm Brian and I like to be particular.
I watch
I
stuff.
like to go on random fasts of things just because
I need a break.
I need, but I'm gonna play a video game incessantly for months and months on end. But I can't
Yes,
watch one TV show.
yes. I mean, I have no interest in Echo, and and I know how it ends, and I've watched some reviewers. I pretty much watch a spoiler review. Um, so there's that. I have no opinion of it because I haven't watched it myself, but I want to hear your opinion. Um, all right, Mark. Before we get into the meteor side of things,
Yes, the softer side of
um, what what have you been up to this past week? Anything worth
things.
mentioning before you give us your Echo review?
Not much. I watched cut up on Monarch. God and Monsters. Is that the name of the show? I can't remember, but it's just
I
Monarch. I call it Monarch.
yeah,
Great show. I still think you should watch it. I think you'd enjoy it.
I
Uh,
will when I have Apple TV again.
yeah. Kurt Russell and his son are awesome as playing the same character. They really do
That,
a great job of it.
that's pretty cool.
Uh, the story's cool. Uh, I think season finale is this week coming. So excited to see how that wraps up, how they're gonna wrap up the season, and how it's gonna lead into whatever it's gonna lead into. Um, Besides that, just watched a lot of football this weekend. It was super wild card weekend, so there was two games on Saturday. There were supposed to be three games on Sunday, but because of said weather, one of the games got moved to yesterday. So there was two games Saturday, two games Sunday, two games yesterday.
Nice.
So, which wasn't a terrible thing. I kind of liked having the game spread out like that. But yeah, it was so a lot of football watching going on.
Are you
Uh,
ready for some football?
Basically, yeah, that's all it was. Um, Besides that, just yeah, watched Echo. We'll be talking about that in a bit, and then just not really watching anything. Kind of like in the middle of stuff right now, waiting for things to start. We're gonna start watching The Traitors this week, which is exciting. I love that show.
I
Alan
don't know
Cumming
what that is.
hosts. It's a reality show that Alan Cumming hosts,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of it is all like Z-list reality stars that they have on, and the whole shtick is that it's like a murder mystery situation where all the players are playing the game, and uh, nightly uh, character is murdered from the show,
Oh,
and the players have to decipher who the murderers are because the
it's a clue.
murderers, yeah. Well, the first I can't remember exactly because it was a year and a half ago. I think the first season came out, but in the very first like episode, three members of the cast are picked by Alan Cummings to be the traitors,
Yeah.
and they're all like playing like all the players are playing for a prize bin at the end, and they all have to like they play like physical challenges and stuff, and the traitors are trying to not make the whole group win a lot of money because whatever money they don't win goes into a pot that the traitor then wins. And then if at the end of the game, if the last person who isn't a traitor can't decipher who the traitors are,
Yeah.
then the traitors split all the money. So it's very intriguing. It's very interesting to see because you know who the traitors are, but the players don't.
Right.
You're like seeing how like the traitors are pulling things off on people, and it's very cool. It's a very neat concept.
I have seen the banner on Peacock,
Yeah,
but
it's on the cock.
I
Yeah,
didn't know what it was.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
I think Allison would enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
we're
cool.
not really big on reality shows. I mean, other than we watch
It's
Jersey
yeah, it's
Girl.
not really a reality. It's more of like a competition show,
Yeah.
but it's all like reality people. So there's all that drama of the reality people like going on as well.
Yeah.
So it's like a nice combo of reality show and competition show at the same time because they all live in the same house together the whole time
Oh,
and everything. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Interesting. I'll have
yeah,
to
it's a
check
very
it
neat
out.
concept. I think it's from like Europe somewhere in Australia, something like that.
Probably a British show,
Yeah,
but
probably a British thing that they brought over.
yeah.
But but yeah, it's very cool.
Cool, cool.
My chair's acting.
Mark's chairs acting. Shall I go with me real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us what
Okay.
you've been up to, Brian, while I spin my chair around and try to get it to stop.
You spin me right round like a
Your
chair,
record.
like Mark Warnock's chair.
Yes.
For me, this past week I started watching Ted on Peacock,
Oh,
which
I watched that too. That was very good. Yeah.
hilarious. I watched
Hilarious.
first two episodes. I'm watching like one. I like for me, I can't binge a comedy because it just I can't do it. But
Yeah.
like the first episode had me, second episode was really funny with the colonoscopy stuff.
Yes.
Um, I I love Seth MacFarlane, so for me, this was a win-win. I love how he's using the same orchestra that does Family Guy, and does a lot of his albums.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm loving Ted. I think it
Yeah.
works as a TV show. I was a little nervous because some of the episodes they run 40 to 35 minutes. I'm like, interesting, but they fly by.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm really liking it so far. Did you watch the whole thing already?
I did. Yeah, I did.
How that? That's like 10. That's like how? It's like 10 episodes.
Yeah. But only like half an hour and 45 minutes long.
Oh my lord.
But they
Well,
go by quick when you're like, yeah.
I'm enjoying it so far. I'll probably the next time we talk, I will have finished it, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Um,
I like the style of the way they shot it too. It's very uh in that
it's like a movie, but
in that
sometimes
yeah,
it
but
feels like
it's
a sitcom.
yeah, but it's shot in like the old like 80s style sitcom. That's what I
Yeah.
was trying to get at. Like the look of it. It's very like
Well, it takes place in the 90s, but
yeah,
it's
but
got
it's
that
got that
90s.
very like
Yeah,
TGIF kind of look to it, where
right.
it's very like saturated. The colors are very saturated and everything.
Totally.
And everything's very like over the top, like neon and flashy.
I wouldn't go that crazy, but yeah, it looks
Well, you know
like
what I
it's
mean?
like
Like that has that style to it of the way that like TJF shows were shot, where everything looks very like boxy and
just bright. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And it's great. He utilizes a lot of the cast members from the Orville. I mean,
yes,
the guy is
the
playing
dad,
the
yeah,
dad. A lot of the voices you'll recognize from Family Guy
yeah,
and American Dad and Cleveland Show. So it's kind of cool to
yeah,
see them all coming together for this project. Highly recommend if you like something, if you want to
mm,
laugh at something. Um, and then Allison and me are just about to finish season three of the of Miss Maisel, um, which has been a great season. I think we're
yes.
2 episodes to finish season three.
I think
We're
there's five, right?
5 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, we end up watching like I think we started season three on Friday,
Mm,
and we got our flu and COVID shot Saturday.
yeah.
So Sunday, we both felt like horrible. We slept the majority of the day.
Hmm,
But Sunday night, when we started to feel our fevers went away and everything because of the shots,
huh,
we ended up like watching like 4 episodes of Miss Maisel. But
yeah,
we both really enjoy the show so far. Um, so other than Ted, Miss Maisel, um, that's been really it.
yeah.
Um, with other things going on in my life, but that's about it. Mark, I know you watched Echo.
I did.
What is your review? You can spoil anything. I don't care, and I will give you. You can even give it a number. I'll put it in
Yeah.
our log.
Okay. Before I get an echo, I do remember because we talked about the Peacock. I watched The Holdovers on Peacock.
Oh, I've been dying to watch that.
Excellent, fantastic movie.
I heard. I heard good.
I love the style of the way they. Speaking of that, made me think about it too. As we're talking about the way they shot it, because it's set in the 70s and it's all shot to look like it was shot like filmed in the 70s. Like the film is all like degraded and has like the crackliness to it, and like the hues and the lighting is all very like dark, like 70s style shot like movies. It was very well done. Paul Giamatti, I understand why he's winning awards. He was
Yeah,
fantastic. Divine was Divine in it. She was fantastic as Mary. It's a great movie. Very much, and I said to Claire like because I watched it Friday and she came home from work. And she was like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm watching The Holdover." She's like, "Oh, I wanted to see that." I was like, "Yeah, I wanted." I always like watch movies beforehand to see if it's something she can handle emotionally.
yeah.
So I don't want to like destroy her and have to deal with that repercussion. So I was like, yeah, it's a great one. It might even be like one of my new favorite Christmas movies to watch because it's all set during Christmas time because they're holdovers. Just students are
Right.
held over from Christmas for Christmas break, and it's all set in like Boston, New England area. So I was like, oh man, it's so good. It's long though. It's like over 2 hours. It's a long one. That was like my only thing of it. It was like, whew, yeah, they can some parts you can be like you can speed it up a tiny bit, but
So you're saying it felt a little too long to you?
a tad, not terribly, but a tad bit too long.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited to watch that movie. It's on my list. I know it's on Peacock.
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to checking it out. So it's good to hear good things. I, I think this year Allison and me are going to try to watch a lot of the Oscar-nominated movies. So I know that's going to be nominated.
yeah, for sure. But Echo,
Yeah,
yes, I did watch Echo. It's on the Disney Plus. Um, they literally just do the thing, which is very uncommon for recent Marvel stuff. Uh, First episode, you get Daredevil. You get Kingpin, the what happened at the end of Hawkeye. They do the whole story like at the very beginning of the show. They basically just catch you up on everything, which is great.
yeah,
Like, you get Hawkeye in it. When he's Ronin, that whole part is shown again. Remind me of like the tiny bits of Hawkeye, which I thought were amazing, was when he was Ronin. Um, so they get to that part, they get through all that. They do a very cool thing of introducing her and giving you a good like the reason for the show. And they do like I thought the very good thing about this show was it transitions Kingpin and brings him from the Netflix world into the Marvel world in a very good way. I
yeah.
know he was in Hawkeye a tiny bit, but not like as intense.
Well, and Hawkeye is very cartoony.
Yeah, and they did a very good job of that. Like they kind of like brought him in that way. They kind of show that a little bit in this show, but they bring him back down to the grounded Netflix like Kingpin. And Daredevil's wearing the Netflix outfit in this show and not the
Yeah,
stupid She-Hulk outfit that he was wearing. So that was cool. Uh, and her story of connecting it to her uh, ancestors and things and explaining why she's called Echo is because she's an echo of her ancestors was very interesting. And I thought it was very interesting. And I thought they did a very good job of that. I think this show's better than a lot of people do. Because I think a lot of people are starting to get me a little bit annoyed with people's thing about Marvel now, where everything has to be, you know, not everything is going to be Endgame. Not everything is going to be Scarlet Witch. You know, not nothing. It's like not everything to be WandaVision and Loki. It's like there's a place for shows to not be as fantastic as those, and it doesn't have to be like it's either fantastic or I'm not watching it kind of thing.
it's
Which I
just got to
kind of get
be.
that feel out
It's
there.
got to. Well, I mean, let's let's look back. The track history for their shows have been mediocre at best. There's been
Well,
outliers. So
not really. I mean, if you really think about it in
Secret
the grand scheme
Invasion,
of shows, Secret
Secret
Invasion was the
Invasion
worst one,
was bad.
which is we all understand.
Was
But
bad.
besides that, the other shows weren't terrible. Like Moon Knight was not terrible.
Moon
Moon Knight
Knight
was good.
was good. I would say
Yeah,
just good
it's not terrible.
overall. Wasn't terrible. Um,
Captain
uh,
America, Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier was
that was
not
good.
terrible.
Wasn't
That's
terrible.
good.
Was good.
So it's like their average is pretty good
Yeah, I mean, their
in the
shows have
long run
gone
of things.
from
It's not
good
like
to great.
yeah, I
Um,
think people are putting way too much into these. Like they have to be like I mean, when you come out the gate with a home run with WandaVision, it's kind of tough to then like follow that up with another home run. Like not every show is going to be the best thing.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good show, and I like the way they did it. And it's not like they didn't put out as a full-on series. They did it in that vein of Werewolf by Night, where it's a spotlight, so it's like a special presentation kind of thing. So they did it as is like it would have been a movie, but it's the way they did it in the great way. I think this is how they need to start doing these shows. Is this is a thing that could have been a movie, but it would have been a bad movie. But let's stretch out the story more and make it into a short miniseries kind of thing, which is what they did with this, and I think it was great, and I think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And I know the ending wasn't like a lot of people thought the ending was disappointing,
Yeah.
but I think the way it sets up as a prequel to the Daredevil show, I think it does what it was supposed to do. It's supposed to give you a reason why Daredevil's coming back. And at
Well, I
the end of
mean,
this Echo show,
yeah.
the last cut scene, like the after credit scene or mid credit scene, explains that what the Daredevil show is going to be about.
Well, Kingpin is going to run for mayor,
Yeah.
which I we all knew was going to happen before watching Echo. There was already there was
Well,
already
yeah,
talks
but I
about
mean that's
so,
from the comic books. But I mean it's like
no for the show. There was already rumblings that that was going to be the premise.
yeah,
Um,
but they did a whole thing at the end of the show with Echo where they hit on the whole thing with him and his dad and Echo and her dad, and they kind of went in that storyline of to be free you have to like and they actually do the whole thing where Kingpin tells her like show gives her the hammer that he used to kill his dad, and he's like set yourself free, and if you kill me then you'll be free like I am. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. That's not how this works. You have to actually deal with the problem and deal with your you know feelings. You can't just kill people or kill the person to solve the problem.
yeah,
So I think that's like it was a lot more in-depth stuff into it than I think people like put into it.
yeah,
And at the end of that end of the season, one of the echoes, her mom, is that she was a healer, and they talk about that in this show. And she like heals Kingpin, or that was the what they're saying is that she like healed him or tried to heal him of that thing that he did with his dad.
right.
And that the Kingpin we're going to see in Daredevil is not going to be the same Kingpin we've seen. Like it could be from the comic books, that whole thing where did Kingpin go straight kind of story, but no one believes him because he's Kingpin. So that'd be interesting. And they did a very good job of like delving into that relationship between Kingpin and Echo, and how like showing like he thinks he's doing right by what he's doing, but he's going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But Echo is the one person that he like actually feels and cares about. So when she does things against him, it means more to him. And instead of him just killing her like he would any other person, he actually wants to like solve it and that kind of thing. So I think there's a lot more to that show than I think people are putting into it.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what you just said makes me more interested.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to watch it. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe never. I don't know. But it you made it sound a little bit more interesting than what I've gotten. I honestly like
I think people put weight, like I think people go into it
I'm just
just
burnt out. That's
I
it, it
understand
has
that, but I
nothing to
think
do with that. I'm just burnt out.
a little bit of review of people I've seen. I don't know who you watch exactly, but some of the ones I've seen on YouTube, I think they go into it expecting one thing, or just going with it the usual dirt, like, oh, Marvel, it's going to be blah, 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 whatever.
I watch
Secret
people
Invasion
who are
sucks, so
really
this is going to
on
suck too.
board. I
But
don't
I think
watch.
yeah, I think it was just the thing of it wasn't even really an Echo show. It was an Echo origin story involved in a Kingpin evolution story.
Well, I mean, it is an Echo show. It is
Yeah,
called
but I'm saying
Echo.
it like it shows Echo's like the main story was Echo's origin and how she becomes Echo, but interlaced in that was also a very like a character story, like character arc for Kingpin.
Right.
Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is just amazing. Like
Well, I mean,
I can't think of anyone else
our
playing Kingpin at this point.
right. I the people I watch for
Like
review
definitely not John Travolta.
generally are people who like MCU or a lot of Disney stuff. I um Everybody I have watched all said the episode, because there's 5 episodes if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Everybody said the best episode was episode 4, which was the dinner scene between Echo and Kingpin.
Yes.
Everybody said that was the best,
Yes.
but then they said they just couldn't stick the landing again, and that's a big problem when it comes to a
Which I
lot
don't
of
think they said they didn't stick the landing. I think it wasn't the landing people wanted. I think it was just the way they went about it was different than instead of like there being a full blown conclusion to it. Like Echo basically just like comes to the realization that she doesn't want to kill him either. She doesn't want to fight him. She wants to help him.
yeah.
So instead of them having like the big huge fight at the end, they start fighting and then she just decides that she's going to heal him and she's trying to save him.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what people were expecting. I think it was like it really shows like Echo really cares about Kingpin. Like she considers him her uncle
Yeah.
and she really loves him and he loves her. And it's like that battle of how do they like
Right.
fight each other.
Yeah.
It's very much in the vein of, and I kind of like thought about it afterwards, very much in the vein of Captain America and Bucky and Winter Soldier. It's like they are supposed to fight each other. They're made to fight each other. But there's that thing inside them where they're like, you're the only person I have.
Yeah.
You're my only connection to my life.
Right.
Like I have nobody else. Like
Yeah.
she's kind of gotten back into her family again, but for the longest time, they were each other's only thing. So
Totally.
I think that's the this part of the story, which I don't that's I got out of that of the story. So I don't know other people probably might not have gotten that, but that's what I got out
Right.
of it. So
Well, that's everybody takes it differently. I
yeah,
mean, that's
I
good.
actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. I didn't
Well,
think it
that's
was as
good.
terrible as a lot of people think it was, but you know,
That's fine.
yeah.
That makes me hopeful.
Yeah.
Um, Mark, what do you give it? Give it the
I'll
old
give it an 8. It wasn't the best Marvel show.
yeah.
It wasn't the worst Marvel show.
All right, an 8 sounds good.
Yeah, it was a nice like even keeled show. It was just a nice show to just it killed 5 hours.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be Endgame. That's my people
I
on
don't
Marvel.
think that's what a lot of people just want good writing. That's what
I think
people.
people are putting way too much into these movies at this point. It's like none of these movies were ever like masterpieces.
Well, they're shows. This is a
Well,
show.
even the shows, but none of them were like
Yeah, I mean, no, you look at
think pieces.
WandaVision, you look at Loki season 1 and 2, you
Yeah.
look
I
at
mean, yeah.
Werewolf by Night was amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, you there there's top tier shows, but then there's some shows you're just like,
I think there's the thing of
Invasion,
too,
why
like
did
I
you even
think
make it?
the
Why?
issue, some of the issues with the Marvel stuff, and even some of the DC stuff, is people are putting preconceived notions on it before they even go see it. Like people
Well, yeah.
hear, oh, Echo's getting a show. Why is Echo getting a show?
Well, that's what I said. Why is that?
Like maybe we just wait and see what it is first and then decide. Don't just poo-poo it just because the name of it or whoever the person is.
Right. Listen,
Like, look at Secret Invasion had one of the biggest characters in the whole MCU in it, and it was terrible.
yeah,
So,
I don't know.
you
I
know,
I at this point, like, I rather just wait and see. If I
yeah.
hear good things, I'll check it out. If it's if it's a character I could care less about, I'm probably not going to watch it. But if you or whatever are like, oh wow, that was actually really good, well then I will be more to check it out. I just, I don't know. There's so much out there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? There's we have limited time. So I much rather watch something I know is going to be good or something I'm
yeah,
looking forward to. Now, Echo, I've I've heard it's, you gave it a decent review. I've heard decent reviews. I've never heard anybody say it was horrible, but I heard a lot of people just didn't like the ending.
yeah.
So, um, needless to say, it was good to hear your opinion. Um, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know, but um, like the for me, like I know I don't know. I know we're getting more Marvel shows. For me personally, I'm just kind of burnt out right now. Like Deadpool 3, I'm excited for that. That's all I care about. I don't. I'm just kind of. I'm just waiting for that. For me
Mhm.
personally, I just want. That's what I want. Um, but you know, to each their own. I think the shows at this point, you know what? If you're interested in a character, watch it and enjoy it. If you're not, then don't, and don't complain. That I'm not complaining. Echo's not a character I was looking forward to, but I'm glad people enjoy it. That's awesome.
Mhm.
All right. Um, the Emmys happened for
They did.
2023 last night. They usually happen in September. And they normally air not on Fox. So
This is the
unfortunately,
first time on Fox,
I couldn't watch it.
and just like the first time for the Golden Globes on CBS this past couple
I
weeks ago.
know they're all end up on channels where I cannot watch the live stream.
Yeah.
Uh, Hulu, for some odd reason, when they do ABC, you can watch it live.
Yes.
But
Fox is next day.
Fox, it will be posted today. But here are the winners, real quick. We'll make this real quick and painless. Succession pretty much dominated. But before I get into that, last week they had the Emmys. Um, they do like a smaller show for the stuff that's not going to be broadcast. And The Last of
Mm.
Us won 8 Emmys last
Yes.
last weekend. Nick Offerman got for guest star. And Ridley, the girl who played Ellie's friend, she won for guest
Yeah.
star.
Yeah.
Which we all know Nick Offerman. That episode
Yeah.
aired for like
That was
he
great.
needs
Yeah.
to win
She was
something.
great too. That girl was awesome.
Yeah, they won 8 Emmys, technical stuff, editing, music, the
Yeah.
opening, sound design, all that stuff. They won 8 Emmys in total. But tonight was the big one. Last night, I should say. The Bear, outstanding a supporting actress, which
Yes.
Ao, is that how you pronounce her first
I
name?
believe so. Yes.
She won, which I can't argue with that at all.
Yeah. No, she was great.
Um,
She's great in that show.
yeah, outstanding lead actress in a comedy series went to Quinta Brunson for Abby
Yes.
Elementary.
Yes. Which is awesome to see.
Um, Jennifer Coolidge won for White Lotus, which I gotta watch White Lotus. I hear good things.
Yeah.
Uh, outstanding supporting actor, Succession, Matthew
Mhm.
McFadden. Outstanding supporting actor, The Bear, Eben Moss Baccarich.
Yes.
Outstanding lead actor, Jeremy Allen White, The Bear, which can't.
Yeah. He is the
That's
bear. So I mean, if you're gonna give stuff
amazing.
away, might as well give it to him.
Uh, outstanding scripted variety series went to John Oliver. Uh,
Yes, which I saw, which is awesome.
this one, I was like, really? Outstanding supporting actress in a limited anthology series went to Nissy Nash Betts for Dahmer. I was like, Dahmer was not.
Yeah. Well, it was last year, so that makes
I
sense.
know. I know. Outstanding directing went to Christopher Storer for The Bear. Outstanding
Hmm.
writing went to Christopher Storer, The Bear. Outstanding reality, Drag Race, which seems to win a lot.
Yes.
Outstanding writing for a variety series went to John Oliver.
Yes.
This is great. He gets to go on a high. Trevor Noah, The Daily Show, outstanding variety talk series, which is great.
Yes, which he thanked John Oliver and the Academy for moving him out of that that uh that category and making the new variety series category, or moving him into the variety series categories that way.
He could win
He
because
could
John
actually win.
Oliver always wins.
Yes. John Oliver's
I
not really a talk show, it's a variety show.
know. Outstanding directing for a limited anthology went to Lee Sung Jin for Beef, which
Hmm.
when I get Netflix, I do want to check
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah. Um, outstanding supporting actor in a limited series went to Paul Walter Hauser for Blackbird.
Mm. I've heard good
Outstanding
things about that too.
writing, Jesse Armstrong Succession. Outstanding writing, Lee Sung Jin for Beef. Outstanding directing, Mark Maylord for Succession.
Mm.
Elton John got his EGOT by winning the Outstanding Variety Special.
Yeah.
He's officially an EGOT guy.
Yeah.
Stephen Young won for Outstanding Lead Actor in Beef, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. Outstanding Lead Actress went for Ali Wong for Beef.
Mm.
Outstanding Limited Anthology Series went to Beef. Karen Culkin
Aaron
won for
Culkin won
Outstanding Lead
for
Actor.
Succession.
Yeah, Succession. Sarah Snook, Outstanding Lead Actress. Outstanding Comedy Series, The Bear. Outstanding Drama Series, Succession. So basically, Beef, The Bear, and Succession were
Yeah.
like the top winners last year.
Which is, but I like heard that the thing with the bear, and I'm like, I didn't think the bear was a comedy. I kind of thought it was a drama.
Well, it's
That's
comedy,
correct.
comedy or
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
They have that one category that's
Yeah.
just comedy
Yeah.
or drama, and
Yeah.
there is some very humorous parts
There
about
is.
it.
There is. Yeah. But I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Now, like it was great to see The Last of Us nominated. They won a lot last week. I kind of feel like this 2023 was stacked with
Mm.
stellar performances. There was no way Succession was not going to win because it was the last season.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. The acting in that, the episode, the church episode alone was phenomenal. I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything. The plane episode was phenomenal. The
Yeah.
final episode was phenomenal. So
Because I didn't like the ending, but that's fine.
I like the ending actually.
Yeah.
Um so I, and then the Bear season 2, the Bear,
Oh, that was fantastic.
those episodes were fantastic. So
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough. There was a lot of great shows in 2023, a
Yes.
lot of great acting and writing. So
Mm.
we will see what 2024 has
Yeah.
to bring. And this
Starting
is
in
the
February,
short,
the fire hose opens.
yeah, this is the short list of Mark and me. These are a few things we're looking forward to. Obviously, in June, maybe we can revisit this.
Yeah,
This
because a lot of stuff hasn't been announced yet because of all the writing and acting strikes and such.
Yeah, I
A lot
have
of
a
the
few things.
shows that we would usually watch or talk about, we don't know when they're coming out or if they're coming out this coming year. There's a couple things on here that I don't even know if they're actually coming out yet. So we'll see.
All right. So, Mark, you want me to go first?
I'll kick off because my first thing happens this Friday. So uh Green Day's new album drops Friday.
Nice. I have immensely enjoyed the new single.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And it's interesting because this is an election year,
Yes.
and like one of Green Day's biggest albums came out when
American Idiot.
American Idiot, when Bush was being reelected.
Yeah.
Um and they just talked to these guys. I don't know if it was Rolling Stone or Variety or whatnot, but a lot of this album has to do with Trump, the 4 years we had with him and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they said, what? It's interesting that you guys, um, waited this long to this, bring up this topic, and they were like, well, it takes some time. You can't
Yeah.
just come out of the gate, because
You just drop everything right away and then,
you got to think about it. You got to see how it
yeah,
all played out. And now that we're going into an election cycle with him coming back,
possibility.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited for the new Green Day album myself, Mark. Good pick there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited. I haven't heard any of the singles yet. I've been haven't come across any, and I don't want to hear them until the album comes out. So I'm trying to be good.
Well, there's one single I hear all the time, which is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Um,
And they've been
uh,
everywhere. They've been all over the Amazon, and they do like a Thursday night after football games. They do like a live music thing, and they were on that during the season. I haven't seen that yet, and they just did another. They were on the New Year's Eve, and I turned to Claire. I'm like, why is Green Day on New Year's Eve? It's like that's random. And then I like looked it up. I'm like, oh, they have an album coming out. I had no idea they were putting an album out.
only you, Mark.
Yeah. Why don't I'm out of touch with the music stuff. I don't have as much. I don't listen to as much music as I used to.
I'm in tune, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
For me, for music, I mean, there's a lot of great albums coming out this year that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the new Dua Lipa album,
Or
Houdini's
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa. I did that on purpose, Mark.
No, you
Anyway,
didn't. No,
I'm
you didn't.
looking forward to that album. There's a lot of great music coming out in 2024. I am mostly very excited to see Blink again. Uh,
Yes.
that's my anticipation
Yeah.
list for music. I mean, like, there's a lot of great music that comes out every week. I listen to a lot of it, as much as I can. But yeah, to see Blink again, closer to home,
Yes.
and I actually re-listened to their new album this past week, and just because during the holidays there's just so much happening, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I want to hear. There's like a handful of tracks on that album I want to hear live. So
Yeah.
now with the new tour, they're going to be doing a lot of the newer stuff. Very excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Which is hilarious too, because I didn't realize it till after we got back from the show that some of the songs I'm like, man, I don't like I felt like a weird Blink-182 fan. I'm like, I don't know these songs. I was like, oh, they're the new ones off the album I haven't heard yet. That's why I don't know the songs.
what, when we saw them?
Yeah. Yeah. A couple of they sung like two of the new songs off the new album, and I hadn't heard them yet. I was like, oh, that's why I understand them or what
Well,
they
they
were.
only played at that time.
They played the new single that they
That
released. They
Yeah,
played
that
that.
was it. A
Yeah.
lot of stuff was from California.
Yeah. But I'm saying
Like
that one
Blood
song that they played, I
Summer.
didn't know. I was like, why did I know that song? I'm like, oh, because that's their new single. The one where I hadn't heard it before.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, I'm very perceptive.
yes, you are. I have one video game on my list that um my new thing is I buy one brand new game of the for the year. And then I kind of wait to the end of the year to buy everything else on sale. Um, but the one game I'm looking forward to comes at the end of this month is Like a Dragon Infinity Wealth. Like a Dragon, the Japanese game. It's Yakuza. It's a spin-off of the Yakuza series. It's a turn-based game, but it's very funny. There's a lot to do. Um, that comes at the end of this month. I've been looking forward to this game for about a year now. Very excited. My brother plays it, so we always text each other about wacky adventures that happen, the wacky things that happen in the game. Um, but I do have one more other video game, which I'll talk about after. But Mark, what is next on your list?
My next thing is actually video game related, but not a video game. It's a show based off a video game, which I've never played, but I've been very interested in, and never really wanted to dive into it because by the time like I get into it now, there's been so many of them that I feel like I'm way behind. The new Fallout show, which is coming to Amazon. I'm very interested in seeing what it's about and learning
Well,
about
Fallout
what Fallout is.
Fallout games, you don't need to play them in order. They're all their own things. I've only played one Fallout game in my life, which was Fallout 4.
Hmm.
Which if you remember, we a long time ago we had oh my God, why can't Matt Ryan's buddy
Wally.
huh?
Wally.
No, I can't think of his name. Uh, oh my God, oh my God, I'm having a moment. It's on the tip of my tongue. Um, Matt Ryan and him used to come in all the time. He's married.
Wally.
He's got two kids. Who?
Wally.
Wally. Yes.
I said like 6 times, and you kept going,
I said
"Oh
twice,
no,
but I thought you said Floyd. I don't know why.
Lloyd." It's
I don't
nothing
know.
like Wally whatsoever.
Yeah. Anyway, Fallout 4 came out. Wally was playing it. I was playing, and well, everybody seemed to be playing Fallout 4.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
It's the only Fallout game I've ever played, and I had a blast. It's not. It's for me personally. I kind of feel like once you play one, you played them all because uh, they're all generally the same. But um, they are interesting. They're very bizarre. They're fun. 4 took place in Massachusetts, so it's kind of cool. Boston Common, like a lot of there. You actually go to there's a Fenway Park, and whatnot. So it was my favorite Fallout, my only Fallout. But the show does look kind of cool. Um, I totally forgot that it comes out this year, but I
yeah,
did see the trailer and it looked pretty good. So I'll have to check it out myself. You distracted there, Mark?
yeah. No, the knuckleheads are posting in the D&D chat. I'm trying to
What?
curb the enthusiasm there so I can not.
Put the phone down. Don't worry
No, I
about
have
it.
to like mute. I was trying to mute my phone so because it kept like Facebook message noises kept happening. So I was
Oh,
trying so it didn't distract.
all right. So Fallout for you.
Yes,
All right. For me,
yeah, because I don't know anything about it, so I'm interested to learn
all right. Yeah,
and
check out the show.
hear what all the scuttlebutt's about.
For me, the one Star Wars thing I am excited for is Star Wars Outlaws. That will be coming out this year. It is. I will be buying 2 games. This is going to be a day one for me. Ubisoft is publishing it. It looks awesome. You're playing a Han Solo like character.
Yes,
Um, you have this little creature sidekick. It's
yeah,
very open. It's open world.
all open world. Yeah,
You can go to different planets. You can go on speeders,
yeah,
whatnot. The the developers have described it as a Grand Theft Auto, but Star Wars.
yes, yeah,
Um, so an open world Star Wars, awesome. I
yeah.
am pumped. I love Star Wars games more than I like the Star Wars shows. At this point, I love the games.
Mm.
So this one, the day one,
All right,
I'm all for it.
very cool. My next thing, since you mentioned Star Wars, I'll change around my order of things. I mentioned Star Wars as well. This is the one thing I don't know if it's actually happening this year or not. Because we've kind of gotten a thing that it's happening this year, but we're not like it hasn't been announced that it's actually happening yet. The Acolyte. It's all set in the Old Republic. It's a show on Disney. So uh, I like. I'm very interested in the Old Republic stuff. I haven't really delved deep into it. I just remember the game from back in the day. Uh, so first to learn more about what this is about, because it's all like very Sith and like bad guy centric,
Mm,
which will be an interesting take on things to
yeah.
see what that's all about. So yeah, so I'm interested to see if that comes out. I'll be excited to watch that.
Yes, I hope it's good.
Yes,
That's
me
all
too.
I can
Yeah,
hope for.
yeah. And we did get some news, which we didn't talk about in the news portion. I don't know if you saw this, that the next uh they've greenlit a Mando movie
Yes.
and season 4 as well.
Yeah, they're saying the next Star Wars project will be the Din and Grogu Mando movie.
Yeah.
Um, now, to me, as someone who is, I'm opposite than you. I'm really kind of don't care about the Filoni characters at all. I like that stuff, but I don't really care about Ahsoka. I don't care about any of those guys. That's
Yeah.
just me. I want a Mando movie that
Yeah.
just focuses on Din and Grogu. That's what
Yeah.
I want. So
Yeah.
if they do that, I'm all in. Um,
But do you think is this going to be a theatrical release, or will this just be like a Disney special?
honestly, that's hard to say.
Because I don't think it would work as a theatrical release.
Well, they already announced that it this is the next Star Wars movie, so I think
Yeah.
it's going to the theater.
Yeah.
Um, and John Favreau is directing,
Yeah.
which I think is a great choice. I think he's a great director.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No, I think that too. But I just think that there's some things, and I think going back to what we talked about earlier with Echo, I think doing these spotlight miniseries type things, even though Secret Invasion didn't work out the way they wanted to, and Echo might not be as popular as people might have hoped it would be. I think this could have been the solution to the Marvels movie problem. If they had done the Marvels as a spotlight miniseries, a la the Doctor Who Christmas specials kind of situation, and done as like a 3-part, 4-part show, I think that would have solved that problem.
yes, but to go back to your question about the
Which I think
Mando
this could be the
movie,
same thing with Mando. Instead of making
I
a full-on like 8-episode series.
yes, I honestly believe that a Mando movie would do very well in the theater because
Mm,
I feel like a lot of people, including myself, season three wasn't so great. Um, and I felt like I understand what they're doing, and it's not for everyone.
yeah,
But when Mando was at its peak, you had season one and season two. Mando worked because it was focused on two characters and the world around them.
yeah.
Now it got muddled in season three. Season three wasn't my favorite. Um, but I feel like we go back to the well, we go back to that magic. I
Mm,
think it could be great, especially in a bigger budget. Um, I think it'd be really good. So I'm hoping that it goes to the theater, and I'm hoping it's a win for Star Wars.
yeah. No, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go either way. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna translate it from a TV show to a movie and
just
what the
make
story is
it
gonna be.
simple. Make it simple. Go
Yeah.
back to season one and season two. Go back.
Well, I
Go
mean, you
back.
can't really because the story's different, but like,
No,
what
but I'm
story
saying
maybe of this?
what I'm saying is you go back to basics. Focus on these two.
Yeah.
We don't. It doesn't have to be. We don't need to interject all these side characters that I.
Well, that's how you build a universe, Brian.
Yeah, you know what though? I don't care. Don't care about any of them.
Just because you don't doesn't mean other people don't.
Yeah, I know, but the ratings have been going down, and I know it's good for you, but there's a lot of people who are just don't care about that stuff. But I think if you go
Yeah.
back to the magic of these two characters in a movie, I
Yeah.
think it's a win.
Yeah.
I'm not poo poo. I'm not. I'm saying for me personally, but like I'm just saying that's when Mando was top when in the zeitgeist was season one and two.
Mm.
It his since season three was not favorable amongst the fans. I mean, if you think about it, season one came out and there was a divide in Star Wars fan, which seems to be all the time. But when
Yeah.
Mando came out, everybody loved it,
Yeah.
right? It was very popular amongst everybody.
Yeah.
Even people who didn't even know watch Star Wars loved. That was like it was a great introduction to a younger audience, to people who might not watch Star Wars, even the people who maybe didn't like the new movies and whatnot. I think everybody enjoyed those first two seasons of Mando.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed season 3, so I don't know. That's. To each their own, as they say.
But see, you're coming from someone who watched all the cartoons and stuff.
Yes, which I mean, not for nothing. All the young fans of Star Wars all saw Clone Wars because it was on Disney Channel growing up, so they all saw it.
Well,
So
I understand, but
that's the
it's
fan
not
base they're looking for.
everybody.
Not looking for us anymore.
Well, they have
Unfortunately,
to.
unfortunately, we're towards the tail end of the 18 to 49 demo than we used to be.
Well, Mark, I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just
I'm just
saying
saying.
for me, I don't really. It's not my thing. It's not my
Yeah,
cup of tea. And
yeah,
I'm jealous of all the people who are because I've tried to. I just
yeah,
at the end of Ahsoka, I just don't care anymore.
yeah,
But yes, there are a group of people who really liked it, and that's awesome.
yeah,
I'm not saying anything different.
yeah,
I'm just saying I think the magic of Mandalorian was two characters nobody heard about. We all
mm,
got on board together, and I think that was the magic.
yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm not
Anyways,
poo-pooing the Filoni stuff.
back
I'm
to
just
things that are
saying,
happening this year as
yeah.
opposed to things that are happening years from now.
Well, we haven't talked about that, so I mean,
Yeah, I know, but I
I'm
mean,
glad you
we can talk
brought
about
it.
that a different day. We can delve
Well,
deeper into it when we get more
we just
info.
did.
Well, I mean, when we get more info, we'll actually be able to talk more about it. But
Yeah.
uh I think I'm up again. I've lost track of where we are in this. Um yeah, you just talked about the video game, but I talked about Acolyte.
Yes. Back to me.
Yes.
Um, back to me. Okay. I'm gonna go towards TV.
Okay.
For me, as of right now, a show that I've been looking forward to watching just started this past Sunday is True Detective Night County, with Jodie Foster.
Mm,
Um, unfortunately, my wife and me will start it once we finish the marvelous Miss Maisel.
of
So,
course.
in Fargo, we're super excited to watch Fargo, but True Detective Night Country is a show I've been looking forward to last year. Jodie Foster is amazing. So I first episode of Her Good Things. I'm very excited to start that show in a couple weeks. Um, so that's one of my shows I'm looking forward
Mm.
to the first half of the year.
Yeah, Claire's really into that. She's excited for that as well. I've never seen one episode of any of them, so
You didn't watch the Matthew McConaughey and the
no, no, no. I tried watching the first season. I think when you first were talking about it, I tried watching it, and I just didn't get into it, and then I just didn't watch it. So
everybody was watching. That was like
I know,
must watch
I know.
television.
That was back in my angsty days where I was like, if everyone else is watching it, I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to be different. I'm going to watch shows that no one likes.
You're like, I'm gonna watch Echo for the third time.
Echo wasn't terrible. Don't poo poo Echo.
I didn't poo poo it. I'm making a
So
joke.
all right, a show I'm looking forward to only because of I've gotten back into the Japanese like uh Shogun type stuff, and this show popped up on the FX is coming out called Shogun. So I'm very interested in it. I don't really know much about it. I just kind of saw like a quick commercial for it, and I'm like, ooh,
Huh.
I want to watch that. It looks really cool because it's very much in the vein of Blue Eye Samurai, which I watched on Netflix. Was amazing, and I'm excited for the second season of that whenever that comes out, which will probably be in 2030, the way Netflix works.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Shogun, my next thing I'm excited to see.
Nice. Never heard of it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I didn't really delve into the. I haven't watched the full trailer yet, but the little bits I've seen of it and the couple little ads I've seen look really cool, and I want to check it out.
Nice, nice. Um,
I'm trying to go a little bit on your vein of things on some things. Like I don't want to know too much. I want to have just enough information to get into it, but I don't want to know like everything.
right. I like going and not knowing.
Which is you just normally because you don't remember half the stuff you see anyways. So
I forget it all. Well, one show that I'm hoping they were filming. They had to stop during the strike last year.
Hmm.
So assuming filming is back on, it might be out by the end of the year.
Okay.
It's Severance season 2.
Yes, they did restart
Um,
shooting.
it is slated for this year. Could it get bumped? Sure. Um, that will be the reason I get Apple TV back. Is Severance season 2. Mythic Quest, I have no idea about, but Severance season 2 is on slate for this year. Um, that first season was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. I will never forget we watched the final episode. I had not mentioned to Allison it was the final episode. The show ended.
So jumping
We
in on
were
you really quickly,
what?
this was put out on January 5th in reference to Severance season 2. There is now no specific release date for season 2. Uh,
Well,
the report suggested delays due to showrunner conflicts, script rewrites, and high episode costs. Uh, in April, reports hinted at a delay in season 2 due to a fallout between showrunners Dan Eckerson and Mark Friedman.
well, man. Well, I'm still looking forward to it. It's on my
Yeah,
list, but no. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll find
yeah.
out.
So
That final episode was amazing. The
it
show,
was. It was a great show.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's on my list. When it comes out, it comes out. I'll be
yeah,
very happy. But
yeah.
all right.
Sorry to burst your bubble on that, but
That's
I know
okay.
I'd heard something about that show not possibly coming out when it was
I
supposed
didn't
to.
know
So
that. I didn't know
yeah,
any of it. Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of Apple TV, uh, a show I was a huge fan of, and I've watched probably more than I've watched any other show multiple times over again, the whole run of the series. It was a mini series. Band of Brothers had a sequel, The Pacific, which wasn't as good as Band of Brothers, but it was still okay.
Yeah.
Um, but they're now doing a third version of a Band of Brothers-esque show.
Wow.
It's called Masters of the Air,
Interesting.
and it's on the Amazon Plus, or the Apple TV Plus. It stars Elvis, uh, the guy from
Elvis Presley?
yes, the guy from Elvis is in it.
Yeah.
He's the main character, and it's all about the fighter pilots from World War II.
Oh,
Like the Tuskegee Airmen, the guys who flew the flying fortresses, like the fighter pilots, all that kind of thing. It's all set in that version of the war. So it launches, I think it takes off at the end of this month. So I'm very interested to see that and watch that and see how it is because it's the same group of writers and directors and producers and everything. So yeah, if it's half as good as Band of Brothers was, which is as good as the Pacific was, then I'll be excited to watch it. So I'm very excited to see that. And it's
nice.
fighter pilots and airplanes in World War II, which take my money now. So
Take my money now.
take my money now.
Nice. That sounds good, Mark.
Planes, trains, automobiles. Put those on a screen. Mark will watch them.
Mark will watch. Um,
Make
my
a
last
movie about it. Mark will watch it even more.
the last show I'm highly intrigued. I'm hoping it's good.
Mm.
Is The Penguin on HBO Max.
Yes, I didn't put that
Uh,
on mine because I knew you'd mention it. So
well, I absolutely love the Batman. I thought Colin Farrell was amazing as the Penguin.
yes.
It blows me away every time I watch the behind the scenes footage of him going into
Mm.
makeup. I'm floored, absolutely floored. It not only was the makeup amazing and the prosthetics were phenomenal,
Yeah.
he is literally a different person.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you told me that was Colin Farrell, I would never
Yeah.
have known.
Yeah.
Um, and we have
Love the
seen.
fact that it's more of a grounded penguin and not like the over exaggerated comic book version.
Well, yeah, the Penguin in
Very
the
much in the vein
was
of the
grounded.
Joker, like
He's a mobster.
yeah, the very like the Joaquin Phoenix kind of grounded Joker.
Yeah,
Kind of like how it's that same kind of deal.
yeah. So it's one. It's a probably the only comic book related TV show I'm looking forward to checking out as of now. Just something a little bit different. See if it's good or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, really interested to see how they can make a great show based on the Penguin, and I can go back to a show that I did not care for, Gotham,
Hmm.
but I can't take the better parts of that show always revolved around the mobster stuff. Even though their penguin was a weenie, um, he was a weenie, and that the mobster stuff was always the shining part of that show for me.
Yeah.
I know people like Gotham, and it's okay. You can like it. I did not.
It was
Uh,
good at the beginning, and then it got really worse as it went on.
Dude, it got bad for me episode 5.
Yeah.
I we end up watching all of season 1. I Allison was like, I need to see how this ends. I slept through most of it. I thought it was horrible. Will Smith's wife in it was so bad. Oh my god.
It all got bad. It all got bad.
I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, it all got bad really quickly.
I can say that the mobster stuff I really like. So anyway, the
Yeah.
Penguin, it's on my list. All
Yeah.
right, Mark.
Yeah. Um, I'm jumping in the movies.
Yes.
Uh, my first movie I'm excited for, uh, is a movie, it's a sequel to a movie that came out a couple years ago, I want to say now. And was really excited about that coming out, and then was really pleased with how it came out. I was worried because previous sequels were not as good. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I'm excited to
Yes.
see this and how it turns out. Annie Potts is in it. They're bringing her back. She was in the original and the sequel, and we hadn't seen her since. So interested to see how this all turns out. The couple little bit of a trailers we've seen of it so far looked really good. Paul Rudd was just amazing. So
Yeah.
that not difficult to. It's really hard to make a bad movie with him unless you're Marvel. So interested to see how it turns out, and it's been pushed back multiple times. So hopefully it actually comes out this year.
Well, isn't it coming out soon?
I want to say November.
It's weird because the movie takes place in summertime,
Yes,
but it's coming out in the spring.
it comes out March.
Yeah.
March 22nd.
There you go.
That's why I had it first. I knew there's a reason why I put it first. So yeah, so I'm excited to see because it's gonna have all the original guys back again,
Hmm.
and they're gonna be more involved this time as opposed to just the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that all works and how that's all put together. And yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm just excited for it because Ghostbusters, and it's like my favorite movie of all time. So even if you put out a bad Ghostbusters movie, I'll watch it once. So yeah,
Mark will watch it.
once.
Cool. I have a feeling it'll just probably be me and you going to that movie.
That's fine. I mean,
We'll go check it out.
they're bringing back the Ecto One. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be more old school because it's set in the city, and that's where I want it to be. And I feel like it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, the last movie for me was just it was good, it was enjoyable, but I don't know. There was a lot of it. I understood what they're doing, but for me, I was
Yeah,
like, I want it to be back in the city. I want the firehouse. I want all those things.
they had to
So
get us there though. That was the thing I understood about it. They had to get us back there. They couldn't just go right back to it. There was too much time, and then the way they had to do the story, and it made sense with the Harold Ramis's situation of passing away.
yes,
You couldn't just keep it going. There had to be something like these guys weren't just fighting ghosts for 40 years and happy and living good lives the whole time.
yeah. Yeah.
So to bring these old guys back into doing the ghost fighting again, there had to be some reason for it. So they had to do something to do that, and they did. And I think it it accomplished what it needed to accomplish.
Yeah. I'm not saying I hated it, just
No,
wasn't
yeah,
my favorite. I'm more looking forward to more traditional Ghostbusters a
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Mark, if you want to ever play a game, fire up your Xbox and play the Ghostbuster. They remastered it for last gen, so I
yes,
think you can play on your Xbox. Is the Ghostbusters video game, which is essentially Ghostbusters 3, because not
yeah.
only is it voiced by the entire cast, it was written by them. Um,
Hmm.
and it you put it on easy, play it for the story. It's a fantastic game and it's well done. Highly recommend if you've never even heard of it, the Ghostbusters video game. It came out like during the 360 era. Um, and like I said, original cast, the writing, everything was done by them. And it's kind of like
Yeah,
an unofficial Ghostbusters 3. So
yeah, yeah.
FYI.
All right. I know you mentioned a couple times before.
Long time ago I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
You
good.
mentioned it since then, not on the show, but you've mentioned it to me before. So, but
Um for movies for me, Dune Part 2.
yes, I
Uh,
didn't put on mine because I knew you'd mention it because you're a a Dunatic.
I'm not a Dunatic, but I really enjoyed the first
You and
one.
Rocky are Dunatic.
Well, I I really enjoyed
Handworms. Hmm.
Dune Part 1. I really liked. I wish I got to see it in the big screen. Unfortunately, during COVID, I got to watch on HBO
Yeah.
Max at home.
Yes.
Um, Dune Part 2. It's gonna be great to see in the big screen. Um, Speaking of Dune as well, next month it's the 40th anniversary of David Lynch's version of Dune.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. That's the other reason why you love it so much. Just
I'm going
forgot.
to actually, it's my least favorite David Lynch movie. It's
As
one
it should be. It's not a good movie.
but
Way too long.
I am going to go see it um
Pack a
uh,
lunch.
next month for the 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's horrible, but it's not a movie I revisit a lot from David Lynch. But seeing it on a big screen, I am I'm all down. So I'm going to see the 4th anniversary, the big screen, and Dune Part 2. I'm very excited to see this year.
How long was the original one?
It's over 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and a half, maybe 2 hours
Two
and 30.
hours and 17 minutes.
Man, I was
Back
close.
then, in 1984, when it came out, was like Dancing with Wolves kind of length. Like people are like, "What? You expect me to sit in a movie theater for 2 hours and 17 minutes?"
I don't
Now that's like a regular movie.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see runtime for me. If someone sits home and watches 8 hours of a show on Netflix, binges show, but complains about a 2 hour movie, come on. Like, really? I mean, as long as the story's good, it's well
Yeah,
written, I don't
yeah,
care about the length. I
mm,
mean, the length has to justify the means. If I if I watched the movie and it felt like a good 2 hours, whatever it may be, awesome. Now
yeah,
we've all seen movies where you're like, well, you could have trimmed it. That wasn't
yeah,
needed. I get it. But
yeah,
I don't know. If it's Dune Part 1 was pretty long. I think Dune
yeah,
Part 2 is going to be pretty long as well.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
we shall see. We shall
yeah.
see. But
We
it's
shall see. We shall see. Speaking of things we shall see, uh, I'm saving a movie that we're probably both going to talk about as our number one thing for last.
probably.
A movie that comes out actually on my birthday this year. I'm very excited for. Waited years and years for this to happen, and it's happening on September 6th, 2024. You say it three times and he shall appear. Beetlejuice 2 is coming out on my birthday.
Oh,
Happy 45th birthday to this guy.
I hope it's good.
The first one wasn't great, and this
First,
one,
what
I
do you mean
mean,
the first one
if
wasn't
you
great?
go back and rewatch it, it's not the best movie ever. It's
Dude,
it's goofy and it's stupid and it's funny,
it's
but it's
just like
not like a great film.
Ghostbusters. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
Ghostbusters.
exactly. It's like I don't like put them up there with like Citizen Kane or anything, but they're
No,
great movies.
but Beetlejuice one, I loved it because it was
Yeah,
wacky and
yeah,
weird and different.
yeah.
Now is this going to be a theater movie or a Netflix
Yes,
movie?
no, theater movie.
I
Tim
I
Burton.
I can't
They went back to Vermont, reshot everything in the same place.
listen. I have to say, I was excited to see Michael Keaton as Batman again.
Yes,
Now, I would be lying if I am excited to see Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice again.
yes.
Um,
I'm more excited to see Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice than I was to see Michael Keaton as Batman.
um,
Only because at his age now, he could still pull off Beetlejuice and not be as like wouldn't be as like taxing in my thoughts. Batman, more of a physical action character at his age, probably not as easy to do. Being funny and cracking jokes, you can do at any age.
right.
So you can
Um,
easily do that. And he's in a costume and it's all makeup and everything, so you really can't tell.
yeah.
You know,
My only fear, I hope, I'm a Tim Burton fan. I like his stuff. I hope they keep everything practical.
yes,
They don't lean on heavy CG because I think that was the charm
yeah.
of Beetlejuice 1 was practical effects made that movie
We
so
also didn't
good.
have CG then.
They did, but it wasn't
Not
that
as
great.
much though. Not as like yeah. Like you could yeah. I agree. Keep it practical if you can, which Tim Burton I could sense doing that. I don't see him jumping too far into the
Yeah,
CG stuff.
I hope not.
The stop
I hope.
motiony kind of stuff kind of endeared it and made it more endearing.
Yeah,
Um, and supposedly the whole cast is back. So we'll see as we get closer. But
yeah.
the little bits that's dribbled out from people and the stuff I've seen online of people who've been in Vermont as they've been filming and people who've been spotted in Vermont as they're filming.
Well, I don't want to know. Don't tell
No, I know. I'm just saying it's pretty much all the cast is back. So
me. All right. Well, I am down to go see that with you, Mark. I
yeah,
honestly forgot about this. I'm glad you brought it up.
yeah. I had forgotten about it until I started doing this for the show this morning, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, on my birthday. I'm
Perfect.
kidding. I was doing it yesterday, but
All right. Well, I got two movies, and I know my last one is going to be the big one that you
yes, we both
mentioned.
probably have. So
For me, this is going to come out at the end of the year. Um, is the Joker 2.
yes, again, I
I,
didn't put it in mine because I knew you'd talk about it on yours.
I loved Joker 1. I saw it multiple times. I very apprehensive when I heard about a sequel happening.
Mm,
I've warmed up to the idea. Of course, I am really intrigued by this with Harley Quinn, with Lady Gaga playing her.
yes,
Um, I I I'm hoping Lady Gaga is, I'm sure she's gotten better at acting. I don't think her acting was that great in American Horror Story, but that was years ago.
yeah,
Can they pull it off? I hope so. I hope it's very different from the first movie. We're going to have a Harley Quinn Joker story. How does she turn? Um, I'm excited for this. I think they can nail it. If the stars align, I think it's gonna be another big winner.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough watch. I think not in the fact that it's gonna be bad, but in the fact that it's just going to be a tough watch like Joker was. It's not like an easy movie to watch because it's very realistic and grounded storytelling of
yeah,
it.
it's very dark. Very,
And
yeah,
Harley Quinn's origin story without that added to it is already a tough origin story. So to see that in live action and, you know, we've seen it with Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn and, you know, insane clown posse, Jared Leto Joker.
Well, I mean, if you go back to the Batman
So
animated series,
yes,
the comics and
yeah,
whatnot. So I think this could be great. I
yeah,
think this could be a huge winner for for the whole cast.
yeah,
If it's done well, I have high hopes for this movie.
yeah.
I have really big high hopes.
This also touches on something I want to have a show about down the road when we have nothing really coming on as a big topic. I want to delve into the DC, the new DC concept, and talk more about that. So we'll have to do that one of these days.
Sounds like a deal.
The bigger conversation, something we need to have right now. That's all I'm saying.
All right, our last one, Mark.
Yes,
We just say it together.
yeah, because I mean it's Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3.
We both they're gonna be that's all we're looking
Yeah.
forward to, really.
Yes.
All
Yes.
this other stuff could be pushed and we'd be fine. But as long as Deadpool 3 comes out, that's all I want to see.
Me too.
And to like throw other things on here to make the show interesting. But really all I care about is Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3. Now,
Deadpool as a whole, I don't know if we've talked about this on the show before, has basically changed my life. The movie, the original one. I
how
don't think I've ever actually talked about this. Um,
did you discover
Deadpool,
God?
well, uh, the Deadpool original movie has a deep connection for me in the fact
Mm,
that um, it came out in 2016.
yes, a long time ago.
It got on TV and HBO in 2017. Um, I started talking to a certain person in 2017, and one of our first like hangout dates was watching Deadpool
Oh,
on the HBO. So it's kind of become our movie where like when Deadpool 2 came out, it became a date night. So basically, Deadpool, I correlate to meeting my wife.
ah, look at that.
So yeah. So I've kind of like adopted Deadpool besides being one of my favorite comic book characters of all time, and Ryan Reynolds being one of my favorite actors of all time. And then Claire and I basically meeting, falling in love, getting married, and one of our first times hanging out at her parents' house was watching Deadpool and hanging out and getting to know each other. And then we've kind of like always like make Deadpool jokes and all, it's always a thing in the background of our relationship. So
Nice.
yeah, so Deadpool's got like a special place in my heart. So I'm excited for Deadpool 3 because Deadpool 2 was amazing.
Yes.
The original Deadpool was unbelievable. And Deadpool 3 looks like it's going to be like an explosion of awesomeness.
Well, so Ryan Reynolds, and that's a great. I didn't know about that story, so it's great to
Yeah, I
hear.
know. I don't really bring it up that
You
often.
don't think you've ever shared
Yeah.
that with anybody?
Yeah.
Uh, um. So what happened was people were taking photos, and a lot of IGN and whatnots were all
Mm.
posting it right before holiday because they're going to start filming again.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds said, "We want to film this with as many practical effects as humanly possible.
Mm.
That means being on real locations."
Yes.
He said that we cannot stop people using long lens cameras taking these photos,
Mm.
but we ask the trades and the publications, could you please not publish or share the photos that are being leaked? We want the audience to be
Surprise. We
surprised.
want the surprises.
And I every time anybody in our group chat be like, look at this article. I don't want to see the article. I don't, because the article is always attached to a photo of some cameo. So,
And then some of them, it's like it's also getting to the point now where you're going to start getting things of people who are definitely not going to be in it,
well, that's what I get into.
and it's like I don't want
Ryan
to.
Reynolds and the Deadpool team, what they did is they made fake pictures,
Yeah,
cameo.
Yeah.
and they flooded the market with them.
Yes.
So now when you type in
Ben
Deadpool
Affleck
3
and
cameos,
all these different things.
there's
Yeah.
characters that are not going to be in this movie. Now you cannot, you don't know what's real and
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And I think it's so smart.
Yeah.
So not only did he ask for the big publications to stop reporting on that, and they did, but also they flooded the market with fake cameo photos.
Yes.
I've seen ones with a Ninja Turtle. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen one with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yep.
I have
Yep.
seen like ridiculous things. Um, so I don't want to know a damn thing. I am excited to see the first trailer, and I will be good. Show me that first trailer, and I will be happy. And I just want to see the movie. It
Mm.
comes out in May. We are literally what?
Actually, it comes out July.
What?
Yeah,
I thought
July
it comes out in
26th.
May.
Nope, July
Oh,
26th.
oh, because of the everything they got moved.
Yes. Yep. And Fantastic Four is supposedly coming out in May now.
No, that's not coming out.
Oh, that's right. They got moved too. That's right.
They haven't even started filming, so there's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, they should have. I know the Joker comes out in October, but originally Deadpool was coming out in September, October, and I bet, between finished filming special effects, I would be amazed if Deadpool does come out the first quarter of the second quarter of the year.
Yeah. And they just announced, I don't know if you've seen this, but 4 days ago, which I heard about it during the weekend of sporting events, the first trailer is going to drop during the Super Bowl.
That's the rumor. Deadpool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Marvel's yet to confirm it, but it's very much thought that they've already purchased time.
Interesting. That's cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I will be waiting for that trailer. And you're right. Yeah, July is the planned date for Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's
July
going to
26th.
be it's going to be huge. I think Disney needs a win when it comes to Marvel movies. They had one big win with Guardians 3 this past year. I think Deadpool 3 will be the big win for them this year. And I'm kind of glad they're just giving us one movie this year. Kind of nice. Um, so we shall see. But Deadpool 3 that's where it's at, baby. Thank you for sharing that story with us, Mark. It was very nice. And yeah, we'll have the whole gang. It should be great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's going to be the big one. I think everyone's going to be going to that one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I might even be able to convince Claire to come to that one.
Well, there you go.
It's in this Deadpool. I might not
So
give her a choice about it. I might just say, hey, you're going. So.
you're going. All right, Mark, we should wrap things up.
Yeah.
Also, before we end the show, I think you could tell the audience that, Equilibrium TV this month has Unlucky Me.
It does. It does. And as a special treat for the wrapping up of the first return season, we officially call it season 2. But I told the story in the show how I talked to Mike Haynes back and forth. We'd kind of toss the idea. He's always been trying to get me to get us to bring the show back, the music show. So I kind of was looking for something new to do, wanted to do something different. So I was like, okay, we'll do it, but this has to happen. So after clearing it with you that we were bringing the show back and everything, yeah, we got GB&E back together.
Very cool.
The greatest band that never existed.
It was a fantastic night of music.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was weird. I
Good.
said to Claire when I got home, and I still kind of have the thought in the back of my head randomly. I was like, that's like one of those moments that like you see at the end of a movie, and like everything ends after that, and you get like
Yeah.
that. Brian went on to work at a
gas
T-shirt
fee.
factory. I was like, it was very strange. It was very weird. It was
Yeah.
like a very like odd feeling being there and seeing it happening. And
Right. Right. It was
a lot of
good.
time that we've like all been in the same place together at one time was
It was
crazy.
like
I was
a
thinking about it had to be
reunion.
at least almost 15 years since we've
Yeah.
all like been together,
Yeah. It
which
was
is
great.
crazy. Yeah.
Seeing Warren come
Yeah.
back was
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was very much a toss up if that was actually going to happen, which is why it was originally just on Lucky Me. Because Mike had been trying and Warren had both been trying to figure out the schedule, see if it would work with Warren's work schedule and such.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like on the fence. Like I wasn't even sure if it was going to happen until like 2 days beforehand.
Right. Yeah, he
So
flew up from North Carolina,
yeah,
South Carolina,
North, one of the
one of
Carolinas.
those Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he did it just for the show.
yeah,
It's on YouTube. Check it out, Mark.
yes,
you did a great job getting the gang back together. I had a great night. It was great to see everybody.
yeah. And
Yeah,
tomorrow we're gonna film the first episode of season 3.
yeah,
Illuminous is the band. They're based out of Hartford, I believe.
yes.
The reason why I don't know that much information about it is because making his return to hosting Equilibrium TV, the one, the only,
Oh boy,
Kozaska, Brian Kozaska.
I know. I will be doing the. I'll be doing a hosting for this one.
I've never been more excited for a show.
You can laugh at me.
No, I said this to Mike Haynes every time he hosts. I'm more excited for those shows than I am for the ones I have to host because it's a lot of work to produce, direct, and host.
Right.
So
Let's
anytime I don't have to do one of those things is a great day.
let's see how I do, and if I do good, I don't
I
mind
mean, you
doing
used to
more.
be the interviewer. Like you'd interview every band just about. When we
Well,
didn't
we
have
all
Mike, it'd
rotate.
be you.
You,
Yeah.
Mike, you, me. I mean, I
Yeah.
interviewed people. I mean, we all did, and I mean, I don't mind doing it. We can
Yeah.
rotate the three of us,
I
but
mean, you've interviewed many of people. You interviewed many stars in your other podcasts where you actually have fun things on it.
one thing. Well, our show is fun. What are you talking about?
The show you, the podcast you put work into.
We put work in our podcasts. What are you talking about? Well, I mean, I did that for a book, so there's a different
Yes.
reason
Yeah, I
behind
know.
that.
I know.
Anyway, I'm excited to interview these guys. I'm excited for the show. Check it out. It'll be coming out in February. But
Yes.
right now, go check out Equilibrium TV on YouTube, and you'll
Yes.
see
YouTube, Facebook, and it's
yeah,
there. So you can check that out. We have this month's show booked. We have next month's show booked. And might even have the next couple months after that booked. Working on that as well. So
nice.
more to come on that. And there
All right,
might be some big news coming in the next couple in a month or so.
all right. We'll keep everyone posted.
Yeah,
We should wrap it up.
we will.
All right,
As always,
say the
we'll
thing
see you all in 2 weeks. Be safe, be well, and be kind.
and rewind. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.